with us. You were all here last year. We did a little 2023 wrap up and 2024 predictions, and we are doing the same thing again 1 year later, running it back 2024 wrap up and 2025 predictions. I just went back and listened to that episode we recorded last year, and you guys made some fire predictions that ended up being true. Like Maya talked a lot about Solana being a key narrative in 2024, which totally ended up playing out. There were also some things that didn't play out as much. I think the vibes were a bit low last year as we were, feeling the full effects of just being deep in a bear market, and the whole environment has definitely changed over the last year. So I'm glad to have you guys back and to hear what, from your perspective as a VC, as a technical builder, as a community builder, like what you guys think happened in 2024 and where we think we're going in 2025. So Hudson, Steph, and Maya, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello.
I also have to shout
Hey,
out
thank you for having
Maya
me.
for joining from a wedding in Thailand, which is why she looks so fire. And also the fact that she is just like she literally just did a dance at this wedding and is now on Rehash. So we love it.
Gotta support the Web3 fam, always. Thank you
Always,
for having
yes.
me.
This is also, just so you guys know, this is also being live streamed as well, which is why if you see some other messages in the chat, that's not us, in case you're wondering who those people are. Feel free to engage or not, whatever is helpful there.
Cool.
Cool. So to start off, I'm going to start with the same question that I asked all of you guys last year, which is just what categories from your perspective do you think really dominated in 2024? So maybe we'll start again with Maya as the VC, since she has kind of like the overarching view of the ecosystem, and then we'll go to Steph and Hudson for their takes.
Yeah. Okay, so meme coins. Like I can't even think of another category. I think the year started off with an end of 2023, early 2024. I think it was meme coins, but it felt like there was a bifurcation. Like the ETH community earlier this year was all L2s, and it was like L2 stack on L2. There were memes about it. I even heard founders come to me and fundraise, and they were like, "Oh yeah, if we just raise money for an L2, like we can exit liquidity and make $100 million, no problem." Like that was kind of the vibe on the ETH side. And then on the Solana side, you just saw, I think Jupiter kind of kicked it off with the perps last winter. We must have been talking about it. And then one after another, some of the tools we talked about last year, kind of the abstraction of all the wallet creation made it really easy to bring net new consumers into crypto, and meme coins really took off. Something I found interesting as an observation is that for the first time, and I'm talking about meme coins specifically, I think that crypto Twitter is actually the exit liquidity. And so what I mean by that is you'll see memes that are popular based off of a TikTok clip, and it has nothing to do with crypto. Like there's no crypto jargon, and you'll see a meme coin launch like to $10 million market cap right away. And then crypto Twitter is hearing about it on Twitter like 2 days later. And so it's really an interesting shift where the dynamic of building in Web3 for so many years was be early, be the builder. And I'm noticing for the first time, like culture is actually driving a lot of economic value when you look at the market caps of some of these meme coins. And so that was something really important to me. So yeah, I would say Solana meme coins on the ETH side earlier this year, a lot of L2. And then overall, I'd love to hear your guys' comments, but this divide, I really feel a divide between the Ethereum and Solana community, both from builders' point of view and also from the consumers. And I'm a little worried about it. I think everyone the way everyone owns Bitcoin, everyone should be working together if we're going to create a digital economy. And so I would love to dive into that and hear your perspectives as community builders and technical builders, and even you, Diana, because I feel like I'm talking to two different people when I talk to a Solana person and Ethereum person. I even have to call out that someone's a Solana person or not. And so that's concerning. But yeah, I'll pause
Right.
there.
Yeah. I feel like the like top signal is when we're finding out about new meme coins dropping from TikTok and not from crypto Twitter. right? Like that's
Yes.
how you know you're in a bull market. That's like how we know we're permeating into the mainstream is
Right.
like things are not originating on crypto Twitter anymore, which is
Not
wild.
top signal, but like mid level, I'd say.
We're
Yeah,
mid.
I
We're
don't think it's a
yeah.
top signal. I think it's net new people coming in, which is really interesting because for so long, like
Mm.
we thought there were net new people, but there weren't. And right now you can onboard straight with dollars, like plug for my brother's app Hype. Like you can onboard straight with dollars in and start buying a meme coin. And it was really interesting. Somebody texted me, this is an aside, but this guy texted me. He was like, "Hey, have you looked at SOL? It's following the similar pattern to like WIF." And I was like, "What do you
Oh
mean?"
my
I was like,
god.
"You mean Solana?" I was like the coin, like the network Solana, the
Wait, I
blockchain. He was
love
like, "Oh, is
that.
that what it is?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I was looking at the
Love it.
charts and it looks really similar to WIF. Like I think I might ape." I'm like, "What?" And so it's so interesting that people are actually circumventing. They don't even know what the blockchain is. Like
Right.
they're going straight into memes from dollars. And so it's really interesting. The only reason they're owning Solana is they're like, fuck, I have to buy this to convert it. Like that's it. And if you
Right.
as like the smartest founders will even cut that layer out. And so you really have no clue what any of the blockchains are. I mean, that's kind of the vision of like Chris Dixon, Read Write Own, and all these folks where they're saying like, look,
Yeah.
when this is actually mainstream, all the crypto is abstracted. So I'm so excited for this year because it's the first time when someone asked me that, I was shocked, but also so happy. I was like, wow, this has
That's
really
yeah.
surpassed our bubble, you know?
That's incredible. I'm gonna tweet that. Have you heard of Soul? It's just like Whiff.
Yeah, they're like, it's following the same chart. I was like, what? And then they were like, what do you think about XRP right after? I'm like, I'm dead. I can't even
Oh my
answer this.
god.
Conversation over.
So,
Okay,
anyways, yeah.
Steph, moving over to you as a community builder and kind of actually like update us first on what you've been working on in 2024. Because we started the year with Oasis on Chain, which you talked about in this episode last year. It was a huge success. It looked like all of the vibes. And then what have you been working on the rest of the year and like what has been your perspective on what 2024 really brought us?
Yeah. That, that was a great conversation last time. That was pre Oasis, and it was very. I mean, at that point, things were really stressful, just like bringing everything to a head. But it went amazingly. It was a success for sure, and we're doing it again. So again, end of January, Oasis on Chain in Nassau. Really excited for it. We got some exciting things to announce. But in between that, I mean, that's been the main thing. And we also were able to do a grant program, mainly through the Arbitrum DAO. So it was Oasis Oasis kind of facilitating a grant program focused on global South builders, um, global South communities. That was an awesome experience. So we're really happy we were able to do that. But yeah, now it's full steam ahead for January in the conference. So yeah, exciting stuff. But I mean, totally agree with Maya. Like Solana and meme coins just dominated. Um, Interestingly, we're seeing a little bit and growing from the ETH side in terms of like mainly on base with like WoW and Clanker.
Mhm.
So there's a good bit of degenning happening from the ETH community, which caught me off guard to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, so it's interesting to see that kind of again, like you said, that this dichotomy. But yeah, meme coins for sure. In the last few months, like AI coins have honestly taken over. Not obviously not to the same degree, but there's kind of a combination there, like AI meme coins, also AI infrastructure. Shaw and AI16Z have just been killing it. I think they just flipped Uniswap in terms of GitHub activity, which is insane. But I'm
Wow.
excited for that. I'm excited to see like what comes out of that. This partnership with Stanford they just announced for research for just agentic structure and infrastructure in general. Really excited for that. And I'm just interested to see a lot mainly from the DAO side because like at Govern we looked a lot at like decentralized governance models obviously and also like trust frameworks and that's what they're doing and focusing on with this partnership. So even from that side, I'm excited to see like what comes out of that. But yeah, I mean, meme coins, AI for sure, a little bit of deep in, but I'd say those are probably the main three.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up AI because that was a really key narrative that I heard this past year. And I was kind of surprised, Maya, that you didn't bring it up at all. And I'm wondering if like you have seen projects come through this in 2024 that are AI focused or like trying to do something with AI and crypto. Like I feel like whatever buzzwords are happening at the time, people just try to do something with all of
Yeah.
it. And it's almost like inventing, I mean, it's not even almost like it is like inventing a solution to a problem that doesn't exist. It's just like, what is the cool new tech that's happening right now? And how do we build something cool and new with it that solves nobody's problems?
Yeah, I think, and before I would love to hear from Hudson, but before we jumped him, I think there was a reason why I didn't mention it. I think 99% of the projects are a scam, and like I've been investing in AI.
Yes,
One of my like
yes.
I think one of my yeah, I mean it's fine as a meme coin pump and dump. Like I'm all for it, nothing against it. Like that's a narrative economy. But for me, funding a founder that's just for the sake of it because AI, because Nvidia stock rose, they're like, oh, we're gonna make a crypto AI thing. I just don't like that. And I've been funding AI. Like I invested in Hugging Face at my last job, like early on. And I've been doing like a lot of open source AI stuff for a long time. And so I've seen the iterations. We did invest in a company that, again, it was like everything I've done in AI was pre chat GPT hype, but we invested in a company that's now doing decentralized compute. So anyone, but this is again, like it's important to note that they didn't come into it like wake up one day 3 months ago and decide to build this. It's been their vision for like almost 4 or 5 years. And their whole thing is, hey, I want to make it so that anyone's phone, when it's being plugged into the charger, can tap into a network and essentially use the network to power this like decentralized compute ecosystem. And let's give people rewards in exchange for that. And they're backed by NVIDIA. It's like a very quiet, legit project. So we have an investment there that I've made. But yeah, I think a lot of it is, opportunistic and being in crypto when there's always been too much infrastructure. I tend to question those things really heavily when somebody says they're building infrastructure, just because like I brought up the L2 comment earlier. You know how it goes. And Hudson, I want to kick it off to you because I'm really curious your perspective.
Sure. So yeah, the last year, meme coins definitely from like a crypto Twitter public facing. I completely agree with basically everything Maya said. But a few of the other things I've noticed. So in the last year, they're really, at least behind the scenes, I don't think this is like as loud, maybe if someone can tell me, but like the advancements in ZK technology enable like so that we can have better L2s and better even base layer things when it comes to like compression of like blockchain data and things like that has been pretty huge, and that hasn't slowed down at all. So that was something I was really pleased about. It seems like 5 years ago with like some of the initial like, oh, blockchain and ZK stuff, we were like, oh, this will be around like 10 years from now is when we'll get there. And we're like, we got there like, multiple years early, like way faster. So that was really exciting to see. We also saw a shift from like, I feel like we're not seeing as many major DApp hacks as we are seeing like OPSEC and private key leak stuff that like in the security field. Like when
Mhm.
we see a hack happen, everyone's like, it's a hack. But then it turns out like a multi-sig was compromised by malware, or a custodian was not handling the keys properly, or things like that. And there were definitely still hacks, but like I can think of a lot of huge examples, from 2023. And then this year, the ones I'm thinking of that are the biggest ones are like all private key leaks and people not storing their stuff properly. So yeah, definitely big on the L2. I'm definitely biased as Maya kind of indicated. We're in an echo chamber. Like the real stuff is like outside of this, like on TikTok and stuff that we cringe at because it's like the coins that like we might not see as much utility and value in. But yeah, from my perspective, those were some of the things.
That's funny. The coins that we see utility and value in. I mean, are we? What are those?
That's a really good question. I guess like man, it's how existential. What is value? Like, is with the thing that will change the world? Maybe.
You never know. I
Right.
guess you never
Yeah.
know. I mean, whiff could turn soul, right? Like, who's to say?
Yep.
Based on my
Um,
group chat, that's what it's looking. No, I'm kidding.
Nothing we say on this episode is financial advice.
No.
I feel like we had to like really hammer that in last year because we talked so much about meme coins, and it'll probably be even more so this year. From a more technical side, Hudson, I'm also curious what you've been seeing in 2024 as some of the main narratives there. I when I went back and listened to our conversation from last year, we talked a lot about L2s. I think we were still speculating about whether one L2 was going to dominate the space or if we would have multiple players, like how the environment would play out. Did we see some of that happen in 2024? Have we shifted maybe past L2s? I feel like I've been hearing more and more about just like alt VMs coming to the forefront of things. And then what other narratives on the more technical side did you really see in 2024?
Absolutely. So if we look back 2 to 4 years ago, it was like L1s and L2s, just the beginnings of L2s, and it was like you picked one, and some people argued they were, stealing value from one another, etc. And then we got into kind of a modular thesis. So kind of like, oh, you kind of like can tweak rollups in such a way to make them work for you, and maybe even make your own ecosystems. If you look at like Arbitrum Orbit and the superchain stuff where like all of the optimistic rollups all talk to each other. And now there's kind of a push more and more for aggregation. And what I mean by that is no matter what rollup you are, you kind of have this like central layer that's not in a traditional like L2 that aggregates all of the either proofs or aggregates all of the like proofs, meaning like a chain saying I did these things and they're being honest, and they compare it with another chain. So they aggregate all that together. So it's more about like kind of breaking down silos and getting things aggregated and less sectioned off. So I know that like ZK Sync is heavy into that, Polygon's heavy into that. And then like Optimism and Arbitrum are also definitely leaning that way from a lot of what they've said publicly. I don't have inside info, but I think they are going to be shifting to something where depending on what you need, you're going to just pick the stack that you need, and you're going to pick the blockchain networks you connect to. Or maybe it'll be as easy as, picking like a type of network, whether it's local or the internet, to connect to when you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely think that we're gonna see. So, like for the average person or like the average user in crypto, how much would you recommend actually diving into that and understanding all of that? Because I feel like we're getting a little granular with like how rollups work, which part of the rollup process where,
Yeah, I would say
building on. Yeah.
the only users that need to really dive into it are ones that feel like they have high network value in a dApp that they're using that's on a rollup. So for instance, if you're like a huge Polymarket user and doing a ton of trades, you need to kind of know the risk about like what is USDC that you're doing? Where is that chain living, and has there been problems on it before? Which in that case would be Polygon POS. If you're, doing something that's like a huge network, like a huge like dApp that just transfers a lot of NFT value, and especially if you're a dApp builder doing that, you need to at least know the basics and what the risk would be. As far as like, oh, do I pick an optimistic or ZK rollup on this? Like if I'm using this dApp or that? No one. For the user, it's gonna all be the same. The coolest thing though is with the aggregation thesis in general, and this is something Polygon and ZK Sync and even Arbitrum and Optimism and like Scroll and others to an extent. Scroll made a post the other day about it actually, having all of these different things be interoperable. As a user, the dream is I open a dApp or like a wallet, and I don't have to pick a chain. I just transfer funds and the liquidity is shared. So as a user, I have one interface. I don't have to know about the chains. I don't have to pick a chain. As a dApp, I can launch on multiple chains or even just one chain, and it automatically route there. So like that's the UI promise of this aggregation thesis.
Speaking of that, where do you think we are in this multi-chain world building or this interoperability? Because I've heard kind of some people say like we've solved it, right? Like 2024, we solved interoperability. You can now go and mint. I mean, you can go mint a rehash NFT on whatever chain you want, even though like our NFTs are on base, but you can mint it through Polygon or through like Arbitrum or whatever other chain you want. So in a sense, like I get what people are saying, but from your perspective, like how far along on the spectrum of actually like building out a multi-chain world are we currently at?
I feel like we can't declare that we have built out a multi-chain world or we've solved it until I'm not having to make multiple transactions when chain hopping, or if I'm not having to and it's kind of invisible that I'm not paying higher fees, or that I don't have to pick a chain. If those things don't happen, then we've truly solved it, because then it's like interoperability is you shouldn't know what you're doing. Like you shouldn't know what things you have to, like chains you have to pick. It should be 1 to 2 clicks most. Where we are in it, I would say still early. I would say that like by the end of 2025, it's going to be very clear who are the front runners in doing this like L2 interoperability game, but it won't be fully decided in a, you know, L2s are going to like absorb other L2s, et cetera, until I mean, probably the year after that, maybe mid-year after that. And the reason for that is there's a long time, not only the building, because it takes a long time to build it, and a lot of this is new, and the systems that underlie it are really new, but also getting adoption and getting adoption that plays out over time. It took Polymarket years to like actually like have people use it to an extent where it's mainstream, and they're on a side chain, Polygon POS. So like, yeah, it's
Mhm.
gonna take time.
Yeah, even bridging between, I think bridging like amongst EVM chains has been greatly improved. I don't want to say like solved, but like greatly improved this past year. But I think bridging between different VMs, we're
Yeah.
still really far off from that. Like I remember for DevCon, I tried to apply or not apply. I tried to like submit myself in the joke race for the rejected con that was taking place the day before. I think it
Oh,
was sponsored by I want to say Celestia or is it Forma
Um,
or
Forma
what
problem.
I don't
probably
remember.
Forma. But I remember trying to go and submit it, and I was like, oh wait, it's on this other chain, and it required me to like get a Celestia wallet first of all, fund that, and then connect it to Joke Race, and then submit myself. And then I think I tried for maybe like 10 minutes or something, and just like couldn't figure it out, and was like, okay, I don't have any more time to like look into this right now, and so I just never did it. So yeah, the like bridging between VMs still extremely difficult.
Yeah, the biggest
I
thing is looking at history. We tried to do that before. Like Agoric has their own VM, Solana has their own VM, Starkware has their own VM, and slowly everyone kind of just has at least a wrapper to the EVM. It feels like, or if they don't now, they will because if it's so hard for DApp devs to join your system and for users to have to download a whole new thing, like then eventually they will converge. And even if there is a new standard, like it just hasn't worked yet. I'm waiting to see if something will be better than what EVM and Solidity are as far as adoption, but I don't think it's happened. Maya?
I guess I was gonna ask, maybe this is like a smooth brain question, but do you even need to make things interoperable? Like instead, for a more consumer use case, can you just have the applications talk to each other? Because like I think you mentioned, right? If there's think bridging solutions or sorry, interoperability is working, but with the higher price. I just feel like the consumers don't care at that point if they're trying to get a transaction done cross chain or mint something or submit themselves into a competition for a grant. Like they just want to do it ASAP and they're like, okay, it's an extra $1, whatever. It's fine. It's fine for me. So I'm wondering if one from like more project founders, like maybe thinking about it as we don't have to be a purist. Like we can just we should actually abstract everything and remove all the bridging. And like again, I've seen it in some of the meme coin apps. They've done a really good job where you don't know that you don't even know you're buying a Solana coin or a base coin, literally. Like you're just buying it. And if you need to bridge, it's done for you in the background. Yeah, you might get charged a fee, but it's done for you. And so I wonder if just that thought, that point of view, the way the rest of the internet works, like I'm not as technical as you, but
Sure.
like from my understanding, even when I've tried to make small weekend projects, like I'm using three different languages for different things, right? And like we figured out a way to patch it all together. And innovation doesn't come all at once. You don't have to, migrate everyone to the same standard. Like it comes in chunks. So why aren't people figuring out more ways for tools to talk to each other and then like either charging fees or abstracting things? This is a question to you on behalf of all developers in blockchain, because I always get frustrated when I'm minting something that's free and I'm like, what is this? Why do I have to download another wallet? It's like
Yeah.
so painful.
So the short answer is basically when it comes to chain, like connecting chains and stuff, there's the chain aspect and then there's the VM. The VM is like what the
Right.
actual code written is converted to. And so because of that, if it's a DeFi use case, it's very similar across chains. So I can code
Right.
something on SVM and EVM that can talk to each other potentially with like a little middleware piece, like a little connector that I build. But if it's like DPIN, if it's something that's more generalized, if there's something like prediction markets, so much harder to do. Like
Mhm.
you're adding months of like dev time to being able to talk to another VM, if that's even possible. Sometimes the VM's too early or young that it's not even possible because they don't have all the same features implemented. So yeah, it's
Hmm.
kind of like for a user, yeah, it doesn't matter, it doesn't really matter at all. For developers, if it's DeFi, that's easier to do, but does add extra time. If it's not DeFi, no one's even touching that right now. I haven't seen a dApp that goes from one VM to another that isn't DeFi because of that reason.
Hmm.
Interesting. There should be an AI company that does that, that like helps, a generative AI
Oh,
company that
it's going
focuses
to, it's going to
specifically on,
More
yeah, yeah.
AI.
Like that's actually a good use case for
Yeah,
AI,
yeah,
something
yeah,
that
yeah.
takes
yeah.
a lot of time. And in Web 2, like I've invested in a company that kind of does that. Like it helps different softwares talk to each other for developers. So someone needs to, free idea for everyone.
Yeah, free idea. We did this last time too. Free ideas. Build it. Build it before. I mean, maybe we can build it. No, we can't.
Build it before. We're going to be talking about it next year, whoever the listeners are, and they're going to be like,
Yeah.
damn, they told us to build it and we
Yep.
didn't.
Yep. What was the one that, do you guys remember what was the one that you told? It was Hudson's idea last year. Hudson had an idea for a new app to be built, and he was like, you guys go build it or something. Do you remember what it was, Hudson?
Yeah, it was oh man, I'm blanking on it. Hey chat, let us know if you've listened to the episode.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but kind of shifting over into like future predictions for going into 2025. I kind of want to ask the same question I asked you about L2s last year, but about like alt VMs. This time, where do you expect all of these alt VMs to go? It almost seems like the previous narratives of everybody spinning up an L2 has now turned into everybody spinning up an alt VM. And I'm just curious, like, as we've talked about how difficult it is to bridge and interoperate between all of these different VM systems, why are people still spinning up new alt VMs, and where are we going with this, like in 2025 and beyond?
So the reason they're being spun up still, I believe, there's still this idea, which is true in a lot of ways, that the EVM is not optimized enough. It was the very first thing. It has a lot of like a lot of early stuff that doesn't work as or that is like holding it down from being updated quickly. It doesn't get updated enough. And so if a chain comes along or a team comes along that's like, I want to do something that the EVM can't, I might as well build my own VM and do that instead of either fork the EVM or things like that. What'll eventually happen? There shouldn't be more than 2 to 3 VMs that ever like really what's it called that ever really exist. The other ones are going to either fade out, which a lot of them have in the past 3 years, or if they don't just fade out, then they'll get absorbed by others. Or I guess the third option is making a connector to the bigger ones like SVM and EVM. So yeah, we're already seeing that with people doing converters for SVM, I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
So like there's only like a few chains live other than Solana that like fully use the SVM because people don't have as many dApps built on it yet. You can't as safely or easily convert it. And oh my gosh, the block explorer for Solana is still such hot garbage that if there's I'm in places where if there's a hack on Solana, we can't figure out how it happened. But like with Ethereum, there's Etherscan and a bunch of other tooling. So if you don't have the tooling or the buy-in or the dApps or the visibility, then you're not going to make it as an alt VM.
Wait, is there no block explorer for Solana?
No. There is. It just looks terrible. I can't like everybody that I talk to, and I'm not like a Solana dev, but like I look at it and I'm like, it's just not. There's only like 2 block explorers. No, one of them shut down, like major block explorers, but like one of
Okay.
them shut down, and the other one just is hard to read. When I say that, I mean like if I pull up a transaction, like even though if I know even like what is in a Solana block or a transaction, it's
Yeah.
just not formatted great.
I mean, if a dev is having a hard time reading the block explorer, then I am SOL. See what I did there?
Uh, yeah.
So
Good AI
thank you,
use
thank you.
case.
I'm glad somebody appreciates it. So with regards to sort of like some of the other stuff that we talked about with AI, with DPIN, with meme coins, with all of these other things, where do we think we're headed in 2025 with all of these? So maybe we'll start with Steph. Do you want to start? You mentioned DPIN earlier. You mentioned AI. I know you're also kind of well versed in the base ecosystem, so maybe you can talk about that, and then love to hear from Maya about more of the Solana ecosystem, which I know I've said at least like 12 times in 12 different episodes about how I really want to get more like deeper into the Solana ecosystem and learn more, and I've done nothing in that regard, other than actually like finally save my private keys for my Solana wallet so that I don't have to keep spinning up a new Solana wallet every time, like every like 6 months when I want to do something on Solana. Pudgy Penguins shout out actually got me there. So shout out Pudgy Penguins for getting me to finally write down my Solana wallet keys.
Look at that. And it's just saving lives. But yeah, I think I don't know, it feels like, especially, you know, no idea where specifically we are in the cycle. We'll talk more about that later. But during bull runs every year, or like before the bull run happens, whatever, there's always something that kind of dominates. Like 2020 was DeFi, 21 was NFTs. I do feel like coming into 25, it'll probably still be AI. Like that will probably be the dominant thing, like AI coins. Um, we'll see, because it's it's kind of this mix of like there's meme coins and there's also like other things being built with that. It'll be some you know um, coordination of a heavy focus on AI, and like I said, even on the base side with Clanker, and some of the other tools like virtuals, I think there's going to continue to be a heavy focus on that. People are just going to be experimenting a lot, playing around a lot, and I think that's going to be really cool to watch, even if it does end up all being like garbage. But I think the excitement is there, and I think a lot of folks are just going to like enjoy the ride there more than anything else.
Yeah.
That's yeah, like I think that's going to be the main thing people are paying attention to.
Yeah. I'm curious actually, Maya, because I know your brother Ravi is
Mhm.
building Hype, which is a meme coin trading app. What
Robbie.
is like his long-term thesis about meme coins?
So I don't want to speak for him exactly. You should actually have him on the episode,
Yeah.
because he has like so many interesting, weird, different takes that I've not heard before. Because I think he has a good eye for like the next gen users, like people who are onboarding straight to his app and think Solana is a meme coin, which is still like gets me. But well, okay. One thing I wanted to comment first with what Steph was saying is, with some of these AI coins, do you think that things like Clinker, which are awesome by the way, but like they're just making it so much easier to create tokens? Like, does it just create more slop? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like everything else, all the AI generated content, it just creates more slop. So then do you actually take the other side of the bet where it's like, oh, things that are handmade or, culture led will actually be more valuable. And that's why maybe like the TikTok memes will outperform some of these AI memes. That's kind of my Oh my God, there's these little kids coming in. Sorry. That's my, we'll have to cut that out. But yeah, that's my smooth brain take, which is like some of this complexity. I think that the new people coming in are seeing through it a little bit. And so I'm wary of the AI coins as a prediction for 2025. I think you're right that things will be done. But I think that there'll be more projects rather than what's happening right now, which is like they're using an AI to launch a meme, or they're using essentially like Telegram bots, but calling it AI. Like that's not really AI. You're automating something. And I think
Right.
that's the confusion happening right now in the ecosystem. Um, there are so many interesting use cases for crypto and AI that I'm hoping, because I feel like a lot of people have been putting this out into the universe in the last 24 months, and I'm hoping people actually bring it to fruition. So the first one I mentioned earlier was like the decentralized compute stuff. There are many players working there, all approaching it differently. There's no reason why you can't have an alternative like global computing network that's, it's like a perfect use case for crypto. So I'm really excited about that, where any device can plug into a network and there's multiple startups working there. So I think that will proliferate as a bigger narrative next year. I think also within AI, I think the whole deep fake stuff, right? Like verification. Everyone talks about crypto as a way, in the 2021, like the DAO era, we were all earning reputation. We talked so much about reputation and identity. And if you can think now where people are onboarding into crypto without being blockchain native, you can actually link their Web2 identities, and the rest you can bring the whole like bring your data backpack with you is actually way more feasible to me as that consumer bridge gets better. And so I think do something around this like identity, um, you know, stamp the content, secure, make, show that this is the original, like things around kind of identity, reputation, with mixed with AI will proliferate this cycle. Hopefully, like I feel like everyone in blockchain's been waiting for that forever. And then yeah, to address meme coins specifically, I really think meme coins are becoming their own asset class. Ravi can, he's the one that pointed this out to me, that the meme coin returns are not correlated to Solana anymore. So meaning if Solana is down, meme coins as a basket can still be up one day, versus, most of crypto, even if you thought about the alts kind of in the last cycle, they were a derivative, a more volatile derivative of the other majors. That whole like majors and alts concept, I'm not seeing in meme coins, which is really interesting. It's almost like breaking off into its own asset class. And so my predictions there are like there'll be more institutional capital entering. And so it's going to be a lot about what I'm curious to learn, like look for is what are the signals that make a meme coin actually valuable? Like, is it actually attention? Is it how many views you have on TikTok? If so, who's like scraping that information and showing it to users so they know what to buy or they know what they're buying into? So I'm thinking a lot about, I think there'll be tooling around meme coins the way there are around DeFi, because it is like becoming a, multi-billion-dollar asset class. And so as soon as it becomes, even when I was fundraising for my fund and stuff, I had an investor that was like, can I just give you money to buy meme coins? Like people want access to this and they don't know what to do. And they don't know that it's actually quite easy to get access to it. And so the institutionalization of meme coins as a net new asset class, the way you could think of venture as an asset class or like crypto, projects as an asset class, I think it's going to come off a little bit differently. And it'll behave differently. And it's scary a little bit and I think the base community, which like I'm still in that Farcaster world, I think the base community is viewing it as like, oh, this is the next version of NFTs and DeFi. I really don't think that. I think it's a new user base. It's not, if you draw the comparisons, that's when you kind of get you might lose because you're too in your own echo chamber. It's a net new asset class. So that's a long way of me saying, yeah, my opinion on 2025.
That is really interesting. I don't think I've heard that. I've definitely never thought about it that way before, but that's really interesting take. Yeah. Do we think that that's good for the future of crypto? Because I've heard from a lot of my non-crypto friends that like when they think about crypto, they automatically think about these meme coins and they think about things like Hawktua, who just straight up rugged. And that's what scares them about crypto. And that's why crypto is a bad rep. So do we think that this proliferation of meme coins in 2025 or creation of meme coins as a new asset class is good for crypto or bad overall?
Yeah,
I'll let you guys answer that.
I was gonna say, I think overall it's like if it gets as bad as it did like earlier last year and at the end of 2023, then I think it can be bad because it gives crypto a bad name after a while and it distracts people from the really, really cool other ways like AI and stuff to use crypto. And also like I mean the racist coins and stuff, worst PR move ever. Like it's one of those like like stuff like that just there's no positive in that. But it's always going to demonstrate the ability to freely use the blockchain. So maybe if someone pivots from the ability to create meme coins into the ability to create something else trustlessly, I think that would be a positive. But in general, yeah, it's like I think it's going to kind of hopefully fade out over time. I'm not the biggest meme coin fan. I feel like after a certain time it wastes time, but that's just me.
Yeah, Steph, you looked like you were going to say something too.
Yeah. And I agree with everything Maya was saying earlier in the sense of how there's this like bifurcation. Like, for example, we had a dip yesterday, but unicorn fart dust was like going like, yeah, the asset ties are very different now. Like things are kind of just going on their own. Overall, I mean, for me, it's always been like these things are gonna happen. People are gonna be involved in it. You can't really stop it. You can't really stop them. I think the better move is just to make sure there's more focus on some of the proper things, which is hard to do, obviously, in a bull run. Like for example, like honestly, even with Oasis, like there's no coin talk, there's no trading. It's literally just think like practical use cases, like apps, things that regular people can use that can actually help them and not just like financially. So I think just making sure there's a good amount of that makes it kind of balances it out a bit, but we also have to make sure we're doing that. Because even everyone talks about mass adoption, but who's actually trying to make that happen, right? Like, are we kind of just sitting there hoping it happens, or are we going out into these ecosystems, going out into these communities, and actually interacting and talking to people and showing them what this tech can do outside of either make people hilariously rich or hilariously poor. So yeah, in general, I guess I've always been more neutral on it in the sense of it's gonna happen, but there are also other things. Let's make sure we're paying attention to the other things too.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking too of apps, because I know that was a key narrative in 2024. It seems like everyone went to ECC, came back, and was like, "Where are the apps? Where are the apps?" No one's talking about apps.
The apps are at Oasis.
They are at Oasis, yes. And I also feel like this year I've learned like about through projects like Parable or through offline, like learned more about DPIN as well, and like how you can use projects like that to actually like help people globally, with other issues, like very much like not the problems that we're trying to solve. It's, I think Jim said this in the hot takes that he did at DevCon with us in Bangkok. I think he said something like for us in the West, crypto is really like never going to be more than just like a casino or gambling. Like that's the use case. If you want to find real use cases for crypto, you're not going to find it in the US or in the West. Like you have to go elsewhere for that. And I feel like that finally saw that really start to, I know that's always been a narrative for years and years, but I feel like in 2024 is when I finally saw that start to get built out. And so I'm hopeful that in 2025, we'll continue to build that out, continue to build important apps. But speaking of that too, like, do we think the narrative is still around consumer and apps and things like that? Or are we back to, building infra? I feel like we're always swinging between the two because at the end of the day, like you need both. And it just really depends on market timing, whether we're focusing more on consumer and apps or whether we're focusing more on infra. So what is like the sense you guys have about where we're going to be at in 2025 with that?
I guess I can speak to this. So the first thing on the consumer app side, what I think, Steph, you were like, do we need to make sure that we're actually building real things and have real users? In a weird way, I do think meme coins are showing an example of just bringing in a lot of users to crypto. Like, what does it actually mean when people are like, we want to onboard new people into Web3? What do they actually want? I always ask people that. I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, what's your dream scenario? Like, you want someone to be clicking MetaMask transactions a bunch of times? Like, is that your vision of Web3? You want them to be on Discord 24/7? Like, what do you want from that user? And I think there's this like false pretense of like, you have to onboard them into the cult like Twitter community and the discords and this and that, and there's like the behavior that you have to do, but that's the version one. Like that's kind of we're now at a state where there can be mass adoption, and you don't need to create a cult like community as much. Like you need to be in somebody else's workflow. You need to operate like to builders, I always say, like, you need to operate like a YC founder does, being like, do I have product market fit? Who are my users? It's not different. There used to be this thing where people would be like, oh, Maya, you understand the Web3 lingo. And now I'm like, if a founder is only speaking Web3 lingo, I don't want to fund them because it's like, They don't have a sense of reality, and that's too small of a market. And I think, so I just want to give credit to the entire meme coin community for like starting from, first principles and saying like, what do people want? In this case, it was speculation. I do think there are also a lot of projects that aren't talked about that use blockchain, but the fact that they're not talked about as Web3 projects is the beauty. So like Ty Haney started TYB, and it's a loyalty program. And she has all the best beauty brands like in the world. Glossier, like the first day, 70,000 people signed up. It's literally what people talked about, the dream use case for crypto for years, loyalty. They literally have on-chain loyalty. You sign up with your phone number. none of the girly pops know what crypto is. If you told them there was crypto involved, they might think it's scammy. Like, they're
Yeah.
just vibing. They're using this thing. They're like really active in this community. Every cool beauty brand is on the platform. It's like the who's who. It's in a totally PG industry, and that is real progress to me. So I think, moving forward, it's important to remember that if something doesn't look Web3, it actually might be better, and like to change that mindset for our community, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually, we should be encouraging more of that. And then in the deep end stuff, an anecdote, like because I'm on all these crazy weddings, it was so interesting to me that when I was on my layover, I was in Istanbul, and like everywhere around there were signs for BTC Turk, if you've heard of this. It's their like Coinbase equivalent, because they don't have Coinbase, or I guess it's not really common to use Coinbase there. And I was just shocked, like they were sponsoring gates of the airport. I'm like, what is this company I've never heard of? So it just reminded me yet again. And people there, like they were selling gold coins, like physical coins that said Bitcoin on them as like souvenirs. Like people were so into Bitcoin there. So it just reminded me that like there's this whole international ecosystem, and we forget when you're based in America, or like I'm based in America and I'm in New York, I'm in such a bubble. I forget that people have, like really look to this for an alternative. And hello. And that is my priest for my temple that is watching.
Amazing.
You can't make this up. So that was distracting. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think there's this like whole community in the rest of the world. And I think, oh, sorry. So the last comment, I'm rambling a little bit. My apologies, I got distracted. So on the pendulum swinging. So, when in 2021, when I started Spice, I think I shared the story that somebody told me investing in consumer was low IQ. And then like, obviously that was a dumb take that didn't age well at all. But now I think there's actually, again, opportunity for infra, because like when I'm using things like net new, when there's like, even with a meme coin example, let's say there's a net new asset class, there's so many things that don't, if you want to institutionalize meme coins, there's so many things that need to be built. Like how, so many things around custody and security and compliance, like all this stuff is completely brand new. And so you kind of have to rotate to infrastructure. So I think like the pendulum, everyone is going to consumer and application really heavy right now. And I'm like, maybe I should take a look at infra now, like, because everyone's making fun of infrastructure. And I'll just call Hudson and say, what should I be backing? Because I don't know. But yeah, I do think the pendulum swings. I think you can make money on both sides, which is the fun part of being a Web3. The difference in Web3 compared to most other industries, and the beauty of it, which I try to explain to my friends, is you can actually monetize your opinions in a way that you really can't. And you can actually put a stake into projects you believe in with a little bit of money, and the way you can't in other asset classes, right? I can be a huge AI fan. I can't get access to an AI startup. Like, you have to be an accredited investor. There are all these things. Versus in blockchain, you like a project. If they have a token, you buy the token. Even if they don't have a token, I bet if you emailed the founder and you're like, I really want to be an angel investor, I support you, in one of their rounds, they'll allow you in, and they'll say, okay, you can use USDC. And so there's like all these, it's such a fun, that's the fun of it, that people are actually creating economic value together and incentivized in the upside in a way that I hope other asset classes look to.
Totally.
Really quick, I just want to co-sign the point that, I mean, honestly, if you're a builder and you're only focused on crypto Twitter, and also if you're only focused on like the US and EU, you're not going to make it. Like, what are you doing? There's just so much potential and so much value that comes from actually, again, like emerging markets in general are massive. And most, I don't know if this is spicy or not, but when I see like crypto payment startups focus on the US, I'm like, why? What are you doing? You don't need that.
Yeah, like stable coin payments in US. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, almost seems like a waste of time.
It's pretty much, and it's, of course, it's easier, but then you're not doing a startup for it to be easy. Let's be honest. And like, again, like most places, don't have access to Cash App or Venmo or even Stripe. So it's like there's so much value outside of your own little bubble. Really focus on those.
Yeah, 100%. Hudson, did you have something to add? You look like
nope.
Okay.
That was really good.
Okay, I want to get into predictions. Want to make sure we have time for that. So last year we did predictions, and you guys were, I think I asked if ETH and BTC would hit an all-time high in 2025, and I think all of you said no. Which,
I said my work wouldn't let me, which was a
yes, 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 yes.
because like
Right.
I actually can do
So
that.
he won.
I could have done it last year, but I decided to do the joke instead and not risk being wrong. I'll do it this year though.
Okay, amazing. Yes, I'm glad you're in this year. We also learned last year that Steph can't get out of it because he doesn't have an employer.
Oh my God.
So I'm excited to see what you guys say
Wait,
this year.
I have
Yeah.
to say that we were 50% right because Solana did hit all-time highs and so did Bitcoin, but Ethereum didn't.
Okay,
And I don't know which coins you asked. So I have to give us some credit.
True. I think I lumped Bitcoin and Ethereum together and just asked, will both of them hit all-time highs? So you're right. You're 50% correct. Yes, partial credit.
So wait, I thought Ethereum hit all-time high this year. Did it not?
I don't think
No.
so.
Oh.
I think all-time high
what,
is
42?
It's like a little over. I don't know, actually.
It was like about 40.
I thought it was like 46 or 47. No, am I making that up? That's too high. Did it? No, but
I don't
it
remember.
didn't, right? It didn't hit all-time high though this year, right?
No, it didn't. It did not.
Okay.
Close, but it did not.
Okay.
But
So
there's still a week left in the year.
true. We're not done yet. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing this year. Predict. I'm going to say for two-part question. First, will ETH/BTC/ I'm going to put Sol in there too. Maybe I should throw WIF in there too, since apparently it's a comparable coin. No, but ETH, Bitcoin, and Solana. Okay, will they hit all-time high in 2025? That's part one of the question. So, Hudson, you want to start us off?
So so with Bitcoin all-time high, it's literally teetering at the all-time high. So in January it could just go up. So should we say by a day?
True. For Bitcoin, why don't we just say
July.
why don't we just like get your actual prediction on that, because we're already at all-time high. So will Ethereum and or Solana hit all-time high in 2025? Let's do that.
Okay. Yes.
Yes to both?
Yes to both.
Okay. Steph, what do you think?
I say yes.
Yes to both as well?
Yes to both.
Maya?
Yes to both.
Okay. You had to say that because I think last year you said no for 2024, but yes for 2025. So for consistency's sake, if you're sticking with your guns, you have to say yes. Okay. And then the second part of that question is, what is your prediction on what the all-time high number is going to be for Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Solana? Hudson?
Ooh, okay, by the end of the year?
By the end of 2025.
All right. Opening up CoinGecko. I'm going to go with, I do not look at the prices enough. So I think Bitcoin will max out at 155,000 by the end of next year. I think Ethereum will get to 6,000. And, is it Solana's the next one?
Yeah.
Solana's going to hit 1,000.
Okay. What is Solana
Whoa.
at currently, by the way? I have no idea about Solana pricing.
$250.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the all-time high for Solana?
Let me look it up. All-time high.
Like 250 or close to it.
Oh, okay, so we're close to it. Okay.
He's giving it like a 4 or 5x.
4x. I know. That's bullish.
4x.
Go.
This
That's
is not investment advice. It might be medical advice. I don't know yet. It's early in the morning.
We love it. All right, Steph, what are your predictions? Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, price by end of 2025.
Yeah, I'm always terrible at this. A lot of people are talking about 200 for Bitcoin. I'm definitely more aligned with Hudson. I think it's probably like somewhere between 120 and 150. I could say like 140, 150.
Okay. What
And
about
then
ETH?
ETH. I kind of want to say 5,000 or like 55.
Okay.
And then Solana. I do feel like that one's the most. It could go either
Undervalued.
way. Let's say, 400, 500.
Okay. Maya, what do you think?
These are hard.
I feel like you know most
Let's see.
about Solana out of anyone in this room. So I would trust
Yeah.
your Solana prediction the most. I'm totally buying Solana based on whatever you say.
Oh my God, no. I don't think
I think that
mine is
literally
as
counts as
bullish. I mean,
financial
people say
advice.
Solana 1,000, but I think there needs to be like more institutional buy-in. The ETH community needs to like buy to get it to 1,000. I'm gonna go more conservative. I think Bitcoin 150, I agree, like the 150 range. I agree with all of you guys. Ethereum, I'm gonna put lower. Like I think it'll tap out at 5K. I just think that people are seeing not entering it with volume. I could be wrong here because like there's Ethereum ETFs that are going to be promoted and that might balloon it up to like
You guys are
6K. So I could be.
not bullish enough. Not bullish
I'm
enough.
not bullish enough. Yeah, I should be like Bitcoin 200,000, Ethereum 6,000, Solana 1,000. Okay, those are my finals. Let's just do that. I'll be bullish.
Wow. Okay, we love it. Solana 1,000. So we have two people saying Solana 1,000. I'm buying Solana immediately after this.
Diana,
I don't know what you
yours?
guys are doing, but huh?
What's yours, Diana?
Oh, mine. Solana is so hard for me to say. I just really don't know anything about Solana. Like I'm not like a participant in the
Copy
ecosystem.
mine. Copy me and Maya. Just say,
Solana's 1,000. Why not? Why not? I'm gonna go buy Solana. So Solana's 1,000. Pump my bags. Ethereum.
Not
I'm
financial
gonna.
advice.
Yeah, no, none of this is. Please do not listen to anything we say here. Ethereum, I'm gonna say. I feel like I'm more bullish Ethereum than the rest of you. I'm gonna say 6,000 for Ethereum, and then Bitcoin. I'm gonna say. Oh God. 175.
Very bullish. Okay.
I mean, we went from 60 all-time high previously was 69K for Bitcoin. We're up to what, like 110 or something like that now?
Yeah.
So
Just
I'll remind everyone, in 2019, Ether went all the way down to $80 for like
Wow.
months, 80 to 150 for months. Like, and it was 1,200 before then. So that's why bullish, yeah.
yeah, no, I agree with that. Okay,
Agree.
so we'll see how that pans out. And then last thing, we're gonna do a little game again. This was a lot of fun last time. So same concept. The first one, I think last year we did L2s. This time we're gonna do VMs, and this can include major VMs, alt VMs, any VM you can think of. So you guys know the rules of the game. We're gonna start first round with let's do Maya, Steph, Hudson, and then second one we'll switch it up. So Maya, do you want to kick us off with a VM? And we gotta go rapid fire. If you take too long to think about it, then you're out. Okay, Solana. Steph? Move.
EVM. EVM.
Yeah. How did you guys not start with EVM? Okay, back to you, Maya.
Oh, true. I think because we were just talking about Solana. Polygon? Polygon have a
That's
VM?
EVM.
Oh, wait.
Oh, I'm out.
Polygon
I'm out.
right?
Polygon Maiden has a VM, so I'll count it.
Okay.
Wait, who has a VM?
Polygon Maiden, it's a privacy chain that's non-EVM that Polygon has. That's
There you
really,
go.
really cool.
Okay, I'm
That's
sure that's exactly what Maya was
talking
thinking. All right, Steph?
I'm totally smooth braining it here. I don't know what Celestia is built on, but
They
go
have
with
their own VM, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I actually don't know.
Wait, Maya, don't you know about
this question
Celestia?
isn't doing well. Yeah, I do, but I don't know if they have their own VM, to be honest. Unless that's a more recent thing. I don't think
I
that's
thought
how
they
it's structured.
did. I thought they were. I've always thought of them as an alt VM.
No, they're more just like a modular.
Maybe we cut this question. It's not making us look as great.
yeah, no, that's bad.
Next.
We're failing.
Next.
Okay, wait. So who lost that round? Steph?
We all did.
All of us.
All of us, yeah.
Okay, we'll do a new round. Okay, fine. Let's do a new round. Let's do AI projects. Is this any better?
Clinker.
Okay,
It's like
Steph.
any project, not like whatever.
Any
Zerebro.
AI project, yeah.
What was it?
Zerebro.
Zerebro.
Oh man, I don't follow any AI projects, but I'm just gonna say, yeah, I honestly don't follow any. Like, I can't think off the top of my head AI projects. I haven't been paying attention.
Just say AI 16Z.
AI16Z.
Wait, also is Clanker an AI project? I thought it was a meme coin project.
It's both. It's like AI.
Herein lies the point. They're one and the same. These things.
Yep.
Okay, okay. Let's just jump to meme coins because that's what we're all here for. The winner of this round, because last year I was like, I'm gonna come up with the prize and I didn't. The winner of this round, I'm just gonna say right now off the bat, I'm going to send you a 1-year subscription to the Rehash Hypersub for whoever wins this.
All right.
Okay, so
Lock
meme
in.
coins keep going until somebody gets out, and then we'll keep going until there's a winner. So, Maya?
Okay. Gotta start with Harry Potter, Sonic, Obama.
Hell yeah.
Throwback. We just keep going.
Yeah.
Chill guy.
With
Clanker.
Chill girl.
coin.
What was that? You?
Zero Bro.
Wait, sorry. I couldn't hear Hudson.
Oh no, I said Dogecoin, and then Maya said something.
Got you.
Zero Bro. Or Zero Bro, whatever.
Oh, you said zero, bro. Okay. Pepe.
Let's go with Bonk.
Literally me. That's a meme coin. Ticker of me.
Actually.
Yeah, not financial advice.
Fart coin.
Oh man. Oh yeah, I can't think of one off the top.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now
Just
it's between
make up any word and there's a meme coin.
Literally, you
Probably.
can say whatever.
I thought
Hamster
you were.
coin.
Isn't there also like a unicorn fart coin?
There's just unicorn.
Fart dust. Don't ask me
Oh,
why I
fart
know this.
dust. Unicorn fart
dust is
dust.
different,
That's what
yeah.
I was thinking. Okay. Okay, wait. So Hudson's out. So now it's Maya and Steph. Okay, we're going to go until we have a winner. So Maya, you're next.
Blonde.
I was gonna say blonde. Nice. Brunette.
There you
There
go.
you go. Fuck. I
Is
think
that
I
one?
just lost. I'm taking too long, but I do have one.
Yeah.
I think I lost.
I think your time's
you
up.
won,
Time's
Steph.
up. Man,
Yeah,
I
my
thought
time's up.
I thought you had this in the bag, Maya. Robbie's gonna be
I
disappointed.
had a
in
lot,
you.
but I got nervous. I was thinking through all the L's I've taken
Yeah.
in my
There's too
portfolio.
many.
I was gonna
There's
list
so
them.
many. I could have
Oh,
said
you
ball.
got PTSD. That's what happened.
I should have said ball. It's so hot right now.
You guys missed
True.
some big ones. Like no one said Inu, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot
Oh,
about
Shiba
that.
Inu and Inu. Yeah.
Yeah, Shiba and
That's
Inu.
so last cycle. Just kidding.
I mean, yes,
But also no, because it's like gigantic.
top of the charts. None of you guys said
Yeah.
Billy, which is my personal favorite. 'Cause he's the
true.
cutest little puppy ever.
Billy to Billy.
I like Billy.
Does
Billy
Toby
to
the
a
Cowdog
Billy. is
have a
amazing.
coin? Does Toby have a coin?
Toby does not have a coin. No, his dad is an attorney and has prohibited him from launching a coin.
But this is permissionless. We can do.
Yeah, you can do
yeah.
it.
You could actually. There is a Toby coin out there, and people keep sending me Toby. I wonder. I wonder if
that's
it's someone
right,
I
yeah.
know who like knows Toby and just keeps spamming me with Toby, but it's not like the Toby.
I think it's a common airdropped one because I got airdropped Toby also, and I was like, what?
Oh, you did. Yeah. Maybe we should launch a meme coin though for real this time. Last time we were gonna do what CZ's Tron coin, right?
Oh, right.
ZZ
And we never
Sun.
did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to do this right before the holidays. Maya, thanks for jumping in from in the middle of your wedding to do this. We love your outfit. If you're listening to this audio only, you should definitely go check out the YouTube so you can check out Maya's outfit. Hudson always has a cool fit as usual. Steph and I just, looking like normal chill guy, chill girls. But tell people where they can find you if they'd like to follow you personally, each of you, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. So Hudson, where can people find you?
On Twitter. I will never call it X. On Twitter,
Agreed.
as Hudson Jameson, all one word, is probably the best place. And from there, my website links to there and stuff.
Perfect. Steph, how about you?
Yeah, Steph Deleveaux on Twitter, Steph Deleveaux on pretty much everything. Also, you can follow Oasis on Chain. We're doing that in January. If you care about apps that actually can do things for people outside of the US, come to Oasis.
Yes.
Just the usual shill.
Yes, and Rehash is planning on being there as well, so please come hang out with us. Maybe we'll do another Hot Ones if any of you guys in the crowd are interested in participating.
Hot ones on the
Okay,
beach.
and then Maya, where can people find you?
I'm just at Maya Bakhai on everything, just my name. But yeah, that's it. Or you can follow Spice Capital, which is my fund. I need to be plugging that more. Where we
Who-
add spice to the cap table. Oh, is that a dog?
Amazing.
No, it's a
That's
kitty.
a
A cat.
Lilu, hi.
yeah.
This is my
Introduce
cat,
us.
Lilu.
Who is this, Hudson? Introduce us.
This is Lilu. It's my kitty. We call her the potato because she kind of potato shaped.
Oh my
Cute.
goodness. She needs a coin. My
She
God.
does.
She needs
Yeah.
a coin so bad.
I'm gonna launch Toby Coin. You're gonna launch Lilu Coin, and we'll see which one moons first.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's fucking go. Thank you guys so much. Again, none of this is financial advice. Please, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this, but please do not rely on anything we've said to determine your financial future. Thank you so much for that. Happy New Year, and we will be back again soon with another episode. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you guys for joining.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Amazing. Thank you all so much. I'm glad this worked out. Thanks, Maya. I'm glad you were able to hop on.
Of course.
Keep it open while it uploads. I hate